Okay, today we're going to take a wee look at using what's called the cosine rule. So we've dealt with the area formula and the sine rule. Now we're going to take a look at the cosine rule. And again, this is a formula that's also given for you in any exam that you do. Okay, so here it's here, a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. So you don't need to remember it. All you need to be able to do is write it and use it effectively. Okay. The only complication that comes in when working with this formula is if your triangle has different letters. So all you need to do is just recognize the pattern of letters. Okay. So for example, if we are looking to find out the size of side A and the subject is a squared, then that's always going to be opposite angle A. Okay? And the B and the C is in the middle. So for example, if I wanted to work out this angle, angle B, I should say I'll work out side B because that's what we're doing. If I wanted to work out side B and I had angle B, then my formula would start with B squared and it would finish with cos B. And in the middle, I would just have my other letters in the triangle, which would be a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cos b. Okay? So the only difficulty with this is just knowing where to put the letters. The actual mathematics of it is ridiculously easy. In the same way, if I wanted to find out the size of side C, where I knew what angle C was, then I would start with c squared and finish with cos c. And then in between, it would follow the pattern of a squared plus b squared minus 2ab, then cos c. So it's all about just spotting the pattern of the letters and where they belong. Okay? One thing when we're doing this is we're looking for a certain pattern. You can always spot that it's a cosine rule question. For these, it'll be easy enough because it is always the cosine rule. But when we get on to doing and using mixed examples, then you need to know, okay, well, what's going to be the cosine, what's going to be the sine rule? An identifier for cosine is actually the same identifier for the area formula. And it's the side, and the included angle. So the area formula and the cosine rule use the exact same conditions. You need two sides and then the angle in between the two sides. I tend to call that the Winston Churchill. If you think of old pictures and videos of Winston Churchill during the war, he always held his fingers up in a V sign for victory. So there's the V sign, and that looks like that. It's a silly connection, but it's what I always remember from school. So example 8 here says, I want to find the size of the side which is labelled A. So first thing we do is we label our sides and angles. So if that's side A, this will be angle A. If this is angle B, I'll call that side B. If this is angle C, I'll call that side C. Remember, it doesn't matter which way you call the letters. So copy out the formula. So it's a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. And all we're doing here is just putting in what we know. So we're asked to find this side here. And in the cosine rule, we will always be asked to find the side which is opposite the angle that we're given. So all we're doing is just plugging in what we have here. So it's going to be a squared is equal to 18 squared plus 21 squared minus 2 times 18 times 21 times the cosine of 40. And then all you do is what you see there, you just type that into your calculator and let your calculator do the hard work. So 18 squared plus 21 squared minus 2 times 18 times 21 times cos 40. And we get 185.870401. So remember, that's for a squared. We want to work out what a is. So a is going to be the square root of 185.870401. So square root that, and we get 13.63 centimeters. Okay. Next one we'll do, example 9. So I want to find the size of the side labelled B. So I've got a triangle where I know two sides and I know two angles. Now, straight away, we should be looking at this triangle and it should be itching at you to think, I know two angles, let's find the third angle. If you don't do that, then this situation won't work, because we need that side, and included angle. So straight away, if you ever see a triangle and you know two angles, go and just fill in the third angle. You might need it, you might not. In this case, you do. So it's going to be 84 plus 32.6. So 84 plus 32.6, which is 116.6 degrees, away from 180. So that's going to give me 63.4 degrees. And there I have my side, and my included angle. So we're asked to find the side that's called B. So if that's B, we'll call this here angle B. So if this is angle A, we'll call this small a. And if this is angle C, we'll call this small c. So always start by writing out the formula that you're given. So the formula from the exam booklet would be a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. And then make the formula fit your situation. You're asked to find out the value of b. So it's going to be b squared. And look at the way the letters pair up. A goes with A. So B has to go with a cos B at the end. And then it's going to just be A squared plus C squared minus 2AC. The order that you put things in really matters here, so you need to get used to doing this. Okay? You don't have to do this step. You can go straight from the first line to just putting in the values, but it's a bit riskier and you might make a mistake somewhere. So make sure you're always looking for that V symbol. The side, and then the angle in between. Because the two sides is what goes in for your bit in the middle. Your angle in between goes for your angle at the end, the cos of your angle at the end. So that'll be b squared is equal to 24 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 24 times 13 times the cosine of the angle in between those sides, so which is going to be cos 63.4. Always remember that it's the cosine rule works because it's the cosine of the angle in between the two other sides that you know. So then just put that exact line into your calculator. So 24 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 24 times 13 times the cosine of 63.4. Remember, make sure your calculator is in degrees mode. So that'll be b squared is equal to 465.5 5983292. So b is going to be the square root of that. So just square root your answer, and we get 21.58 meters. Always check your diagram and make sure it makes sense. Okay? So if you forget that you need to square root, think about it. Should your answer really be 465? When you've got a triangle that's 24 meters and 13 meters, you can't really possibly have 465 meters. It seems a bit far-fetched. 21.58 seems a lot more realistic. So that is finding a side using the cosine rule.